We're going to talk about scams and some things that you need to kind of watch for when you go and you eat out at a restaurant, or you're picking up food at a restaurant, or even when you go buy at a grocery store. Some of the tricks to when you go to a grocery store and it's not the one that's local near you. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is tipping scams. And this one I actually believe is a scam because you can go out and with a party of six, it's pretty obvious they're going to add the tip. But these receipts nowadays, when you get the receipt back, it'll have, even though you've already tipped automatically, it'll say tip at the bottom. It'll say tip 20%, 25%, whatever it says, and it'll have the little checkbox. A lot of people don't know that they've already tipped. So read the fine print when you get that receipt, because usually it's right next to a tax line that'll say it's already been tipped. And you shouldn't tip again, because that's double tipping. You're going to end up tipping 44% of the cost whenever you double tip. And another thing is, and this happens once in a while, but like I said, watch your receipts, is sometimes when you are a party of one or two or three, they also sometimes, it happened to me, where they add the tip previously and then there's a line saying tip. So it's another time where it's double tipping you. So just keep an eye out on that. Now, another thing is when you go and you do order pickup. So you order it on your phone and you're going to pick it up, and you pick it up, and sometimes you don't check everything, and you bring it back and you realize, oh, they forgot, a chocolate shake or something in there, something not obvious to you because maybe your spouse ordered it and you forgot about it. Anyway, you didn't get it, and you call the restaurant up and you say, hey, I didn't get this. They'll say, oh, no problem, we're going to do a refund. It'll take a couple days to show up. I've had this happen probably 80% of the time. They don't take it off. They accidentally don't take it off. And I had one place that not only did they not take it off, but I had to call them, I'm not joking, 8 times. I had to, threaten this place. And it was a chain. It was a chain business. And I had to tell them, they didn't give me the item. And every time they said, oh yeah, we know, we didn't give you the item, we're going to refund you. And then nothing. Every single time, 8 times in a row, we're going to refund you it. They didn't do a thing. And I don't know if it's because of laziness or because, they can get away with it. But I've seen this a lot of times where they just don't bother and they assume that you are not going to follow up on it. So what I do is, whenever this happens to me, I take the receipt and I pin it to my board in the RV or wherever you're at. Pin it, and then a week later, give them a call and check to see if the refund's been gone through. Check your account to see if it's gone through, and give them a call, bug them again, because I've seen this, like I said, probably 80% of the time where they don't refund it, even though they're saying they will. So keep an eye out on that. And the final thing is, whenever you go to a grocery store and you're buying food at the grocery store, you get to the counter or the checkout, and you say you self-checkout, because a lot of things are self-checkout now. You should not start checking out until you put your your grocery store savings card in. And I don't mean a credit card. I mean like a Safeway, or a Food Lion, or local food savings card. And basically, you put your phone number in there, and it'll give you the discounted prices. And it can be 10% in cost. So it can be 20, $30. So you never know. It depends on what the items are. So what I generally do is you put the card in first, because if you don't, it will start ringing up the items, and then it'll start adding your discounted pieces at the end. It makes the receipt very confusing to read. So if you put the card number and your savings card, which is your phone number, in first, then the item will have the savings related to it, and it'll be easy to read whenever you get it all done. I'm a cheap person. What I do is I put my card in, I ring everything up, and then I don't want to block the aisle. I step away, and then I go through the items and I read them all off. And then when I see one that's not right, I then go to the service counter and get it fixed. and they're pretty quick about it. So they fix it. Now, if you don't have a savings card for a grocery store where you're at, and it asks you for one, and you don't have your own number, what you can do, and it works probably 70% of the time, is you find out what the local zip code or area code number is for the phone, like 850, and then you put 850-867-5309. Now I know that's the Jenny song, but believe it or not, a lot of people in the area codes use that number because they don't want to put their own number in there. They don't want it to be stolen, so they put that number in there. And like I said, probably 70 or 80% of the time, a local place will give you the discount because of that number. You'll type it in 850-867-5309, and it'll say, oh, okay, this is a real one. So that's a good tip to get a little savings while you're on the road without having to create your own grocery card savings card. So that's it. I just wanted to give you some tips on how you can save a little bit of money, when you're buying food out on the road, and hopefully this stuff doesn't happen to you like it happened to me, and get the word out. So we'll talk to you later.